What's up, big and little homies? This is Mas Vida Mara, host of Seattle Sports Weekly on Rainier Avenue Radio World, your one-stop shop for Seattle sports. We cover preps, we cover college, we cover pro, we cover it all. Huskies, Mariners, Seahawks, Garfield, South, Roosevelt, Metro, King County. This is where you want to listen to for all the sports that's happening in Seattle. Seattle Sports Weekly on Rainier Avenue Radio World.
This is a Rainier Avenue Radio message on fentanyl awareness in our community.
We need to be a community in order to solve this problem. When I hear fentanyl, like you said, Tony, there's a lot of people who don't want to talk about it. And there is so much negative stigma that is attached to fentanyl, and it's this othering of the community right up until it is their family member, which is increasingly happening. And I hate that a lot of people just refuse to engage in these conversations until it's too late for their family member. The secondary trauma is something that we also hold space for and have to live with as well. This community has, I think, experienced a disproportionate amount of impact from just drug use in general.
This has been a Rainier Avenue Radio message on fentanyl.
I'm Paul Pearson, host of Star Time. And when I'm not cooking up a batch of my famous wood-flavored chicken, I'm listening to Rainier Avenue Radio.world.
Ever went over a friend's house to eat and the food just ain't no good?
Man, you got the best time to be a Seattle sports fan, and we're going to talk about it all today with the MC and O takeover right here on the fastest hour in sports. What up, everybody? Welcome back to LidLine Sports. You got next to me the best at it, MC Michael Carter.
Hey,
how you doing today, sir?
I'm blessed. How about yourself, my son?
Doing all right. We'll be taking over today. You guys know Pep is out in AZ living it up. He probably was the little bit of good luck that the Seahawks needed to get over the hump in that Seahawks game on Thursday.
Oh, yeah.
But, he's living it up. So, Pep, we got you, and we about to do it big. But it's a lot going on, man.
Seattle. A lot. And it
starts out with the Seattle Mariners. Not only did they make it to the playoffs, but they got the overall second seed. So they get the bye. And they are going to see the winner out of the Detroit Tigers and the Cleveland Guardians.
Yes, sir. In my second week of eating crow, I'm wearing another Mariner cap. But this one I do not wear when I do yard work. I wear this when it's cold out. And so I'm representing. I'm giving them their kudos as they deserve it. People were worried about the last series against the Dodgers, but it didn't mean nothing because they were playing players that haven't played and resting up players that needed to get rest. And so they just need to focus on the playoffs so they can go in strong.
Yeah, no, I think you hit it right on the head. If anybody was worried about a sweep, don't be. The Mariners had locked up already the second best seed after sweeping the Colorado Rockies. I think we've seen everything that we needed to going into that series. Bam. The Astros before that pretty much took the Astros hard because they didn't even make the playoffs.
Exactly.
So no concern whatsoever. And I think these guys, I say that they're the favorite to come out of the AL. And I'm not saying that just because I am a Mariners fan.
No, it's the truth. They're playing. Teams are feared to come to this stadium. I always want to call it CenturyLink, but it's T-Mobile now. But teams are feared. I'm stuck in the past. Teams are feared. They fear coming here because the park is already known for being hard to hit out. Mm-hmm. But the way the Mariners are playing right now, that's not what they're feared about. They're feared about the pitching and how the bats have lit up. Mm-hmm. So they're like, they're like, oh, that's the team that got lit, and now they're staying lit. Where some teams were lit and fell off, and they proved their point. Now they just got to put the exclamation point on it.
So going into, they will be playing in the ALDS. So like I said before, they get a bye. The Tigers will be playing the Guardians. On the other side of the AL bracket, the Toronto Blue Jays, they held on to the number 1 seed, even though I feel like another week, I think the Mariners would have got that number 1 seed. I think they would fail maybe a game and a half or 2 behind. But like I said, I had no problem with how they took that Dodgers series as well. No concern. So the Blue Jays, number 1 seed, they will be waiting on the Red Sox and the Yankees.
Yes, that's gonna be a humdinger.
Let's start there. Who do you have? 5-4 matchup, Red Sox, Yankees, one of the biggest rivalries in all of professional sports. Who you got winning that 3-game series?
I'm gonna take the Sox.
Ooh.
I hate to say it.
Okay.
Red Sox, I think they might pull it out because the Yankees, they, like I've been saying, they came on lately, but during the season they were like a seesaw, and they weren't consistent. And I mean, the Sox weren't consistent either, but they at least, I think they got more oomph right now than the Yankees. And as you know, and all the fans should know, all it's going to come down to is whose pitchers are going to step up to the plate.
Yep.
It's going to come down to the pitching. The 2 factors in baseball playoffs is the starting pitcher can do what he needs to do, and the closer can come in and close out. A game could be 1-0, and you know, a lot of baseball playoffs aren't high-scoring games because they're pitching duels. And until a team makes an error or a pitcher starts to get lit up and then the bullpen doesn't do what they do, then that's when they falter. So I'm going with the Sox. What about you?
I'm going to lean towards the Sox too, and I think you make a good point with pitching. I just think the starting pitching is a little bit better over in Boston.
Yes.
I think they're adequate, both sides of the ball when it comes to hitting. But I will say, if we see the Aaron Judge that we've seen all season finally take a real playoff turn,
oh, it could be rough.
Yeah. I think now I go away from also thinking I think the Yankees can win this series if Aaron Judge plays like how he's supposed to. But I also think that they can make and meet the Mariners possibly in the ALCS if Aaron Judge plays like the madman that he's been playing all season.
Yes.
But
that would be epic because you got both MVPs dueling against each other. But do you think that there might be a lot of pressure on Judge now because not only the MVP, but now he's got to carry the team on his back?
Yeah.
Whereas Kyle doesn't have to carry the team on his back because others have stepped up, like Julio, Polanco. And there's a plethora of Mariner players who, in key times, have stepped up when Kyle was not having the greatest day of hitting. Did he have a great season for hitting? Oh yeah, home run king. But as far as some games, and that happens. Some games you're off, and other players stepped up. But when Judd wasn't on, what happened to the Yankees?
Yeah, they falter.
Yes.
I mean, you make another good point. I think Aaron Judge has the most pressure on him throughout this whole playoffs.
Right.
Out of every team, out of every player. It's just, like I said, this is a guy who has been consistently the best hitter in baseball the last 2-3 years.
Right.
Maybe the only other name is Ohtani. But Ohtani has showed up when it mattered his first time getting into the playoffs last year.
Exactly.
When you are the guy, when you are an MVP caliber player, when you are dubbed as possibly a face of a sport, I always say, and especially when it comes to basketball, this is the time to show that you're a star.
That's right.
Everything wipes kind of under the bridge what you do in the regular season.
Right.
If you don't turn that corner and make the same type of impact when it matters the most, and that's to win a championship,
then you fizzle out. And to your point, when King Gifford was playing for the Mariners, when the year they had that great season, it was up to him in the playoffs because they know that he was the home run cat. Every team has that player or players that they depend on in the playoffs to come out and show out, not just disappear. And for me, I just think Aaron, the team as a whole has been on a roller coaster So we'll see. Maybe they'll surprise me and show up and show out, and then it will be the Mariners versus the Yankees for the semifinals or quarterfinals.
I know we can't look too far ahead.
No.
Mariners have a long way to go.
They do.
And that'll start off with going back to the other wild card matchup is going to be the Tigers and the Guardians.
Mm-hmm.
Now these two just played.
Yep.
The Guardians took over the AL Central to win it after being down 12.5, I think, games. Coming back from that, it's kind of hard to not pick the Guardians in this series.
Right.
Especially now at home.
Right.
You just beat the Tigers 2 out of 3 games.
Yep.
For something.
Yep.
You have all the momentum probably out of every team outside of the Mariners in the AL. Now, yes, the Tigers just have one thing going for them, and that is who's going to have the ball on game 1, and that's Tariq Skubal.
Mm-hmm.
He can win you a game
by
himself.
That's right.
But will that be enough against the Guardians, which is going to be on the road?
It might be because it's a 3-game series. So if they can get that first win and put the super pressure on the Guardians, then it could be a telltale sign that, okay, the Tigers are still rolling. And that put, trust me, the Guardians, they got in their mind already. Oh boy, we got to play these guys.
Yep.
They've been balling out. They came from way back. They're hungry. We better come with our A game or else.
Yeah. I'll tell you this. If the Guardians can get this Skubal and they win game 1, I think this only goes
It's a wrap.
2 games.
Yeah, it's a wrap.
I just don't see a team was playing with so much momentum right now, and then just like I said, a letdown game.
A deflate, yeah.
I don't see them winning that game too. So
I agree.
I think we could both agree that I think we will have the Guardians playing the Mariners on Saturday in Seattle.
Yes, sir.
What do you think of the energy at T-Mobile is going to be for that?
It's going to be tough for any team to come to T-Mobile and play right now because not only is the team hungry, but the fans have been waiting for this since 2021. But that was a short-lived.
I was going to say, tell the full story. This is a team that hasn't made the playoffs before
2001.
Since 2001.
24 years, bro. So not only is the team hungry, bro, there's going to be fans outside the stadium that couldn't make it in hollering and yelling.
Yep.
So it's going to be, you thought it was loud when Beast Mode, Beast Quake. It's going to be loud when Dumper comes up, or Julio hits a home run. It's going to go crazy. And teams are going to feel that ecstatic energy and be like, oh boy, we're in the pot now.
And I want to talk a little bit about the Mariners hitting. So, of course, since the trade deadline of going to get Genio, Naylor, they have been a much better hitting team.
Yes.
And then you just talked about Cal Raleigh,
the
pressure that will be on him.
Yes.
To me, I think the pressure is on the guys surrounding Cal Raleigh. I think Randy, Julio, Naylor, those guys are going to have to get on base. It can't just be we're not a team that is just around. Yes, Cal Raleigh hit 60 home runs,
right?
But this team has proven since the trade deadline, those other guys can get on base, and that's not even Robles, Polanco,
right?
Canzone.
Yes,
these guys 1 through 7, JP Crawford as well, has to continue to get on base.
And that's the key word you just said, because it's continue. Because that is what made the turning point when the Mariners were faltering, because they would always get one runner on and can't bring them in, and then they only get 2 runs or 1 run, and then they would get bases loaded or 2 to 3 runners on and no runs in. That was the major problem. But then they found they corrected that, and they started getting the RBIs, getting runners on, getting them in, getting runners on, getting them in, and then they just rode that wave. And I think by the Mariners being rested, these are the factors for me. The Mariners are going to be rested, the pitchers are going to be rested, and get treatment that they need. Sore shoulders, sore backs, not so much their legs, but the legs are important, because if the legs go, then the throwing goes. But their backs and their shoulders are their key components to when they pitch, because the twist and the way they kick their leg out, and they're getting super treatment right now. And so because I've been listening to some of the guys they're going to the locker room in it, and they are mentally ready. They're getting physically ready by this bye, and I think it's going to be. They're going to surprise a lot of teams at how they come out. People are saying, "Oh, they got to buy. They need to keep playing because no, they need to rest and catch up." They played a long season. How many games did they play?
62.
It's a long season, and they battled some injuries through those 62s. So now to get a week's rest before the playoffs, that's key.
Agree. So I know we talked about this the last couple of weeks of, that possible first 3 pitching rotation. I'm going to stick with it. I do think, especially with how he's pitched this last month, and I know a lot of people may not agree because Brian Wu has probably been the most consistent pitcher throughout the season. But I really do believe that Luis Castillo needs to have the ball game 1, and he needs to set the tone. I'm still going to stand with that.
I agree. You know why I agree? Because Wu right now is battling an injury.
That too.
He's sore. He's kind of sore because he gave it his all through the season, and this little rest will help him. So if you could get Castillo to come out in game 1 and do what he needs to do, and give Wu that extra 2-game rest, that could be crucial.
Yeah, I could even be maybe surprised if they can hold on to Wu, especially if they win game 1. If they can hold on to Wu maybe one more game and go Kirby or Gilbert, I'm okay with that.
Me too.
Dependent on the severity of the injury, how he's feeling.
Right.
And I would love to have that Brian Wu in that game 3 situation because, you have a game 1 where you already won, 2 if it goes either way. But if we're up 2-0, I would love to have him in that situation.
Close it out.
Or even with a tie game and a pivotal game
to
3,
make us take a lead. Yeah,
I have no
agree.
problem with Brian Wu.
I agree with that analogy.
A third starter.
Yes.
So either or, I think we have 4 though pitchers who are all going to see starting action.
You think Kirby's going to step up to the plate?
Yeah.
So that's crucial too.
Yeah, I think it'll be Kirby, Gilbert, Castillo will all get starts if we hopefully, because it's a 5-game series.
Yes.
I do think they will all potentially now, like I said, depending on how game 3 looks, if it's a bad situation. One of those guys can also be coming out the bullpen too for extra needed help. But those 4 are going to get majority of the innings, I believe.
So you could look at it also on the scenario that Wu's feeling good, they pitch him first. They win that game good, big. And then this game 2, Castillo comes out hot because he feeds off of Wu.
I'm okay with that too.
And they win that game. Even if they lose that game, but he comes out hot. I think we have to have our closers do really, really well too.
Agree.
Meaning Munoz and oh my God, I'm drawing a blank. I'm sorry.
Spears.
Yes. They have to. All of them.
Yes.
They have to come in and not be just giving up runs, and they have to keep the momentum going and do what they're paid to do. Close it out.
Yes, I agree with you because just like you said, the pitching is going to be at a premium. And I don't think these are going to be the highest of scoring.
No. It's always a pitching duel. It's always a pitching duel.
Quickly, let's get into the NL side of it. So the number 1 seed is Milwaukee Brewers. They were pretty consistent throughout the whole season.
Right.
And then number 2, the Philadelphia Phillies, who I believe will make it to the World Series. How well they're playing. But we got a team that got to sneak in there in the Cincinnati Reds. They got the 6th seed and they'll be going against the LA Dodgers. I think that's actually going to be more of a fun matchup than people are giving credit to.
The Reds versus the Dodgers?
Yes.
Yeah,
that's fun.
All the wild card games are going to be fun. Padres versus the Cubs. The Cubs are my team. They're playing pretty hot. So that's going, and the Padres, they've been playing pretty hot. That's going to be a fun series to watch. So I don't know though. I don't know if it comes down to the Brewers and the Phillies. I don't know. It's that 1 and 2, but it's going to be a battle because the Brewers are. Man, that's gonna be tough.
Out of the top four teams, so the Mariners, Blue Jays, Phillies, Brewers. Who do you see possibly getting upset?
Maybe the Brewers.
Okay, I 100% agree with you. And it's not even fair to say
between the Mariners and Blue Jays, the Phillies and the
all the
Brewers,
teams I got the box.
the Brewers might be the only team that I can see getting upset.
Yeah.
I mean, the Mariner, anybody can get upset,
Yes.
but if you're asking me my choice, I think the Brewers could be, even though I like them the most and I predicted that they would make it to the World Series, they still, the Phillies are no joke.
And I wouldn't even, I mean, yes, it would be on paper, but do we consider the Dodgers beating if they would to beat the Phillies, would we consider that an upset?
No.
Okay.
Wait. If the Dodgers beat
the Reds first and
Right.
then beat the Phillies, would that be an upset?
No,
Okay.
I don't think it'd be an upset, but I think it would be something that people wouldn't be. It's not projected, but because the Dodgers are a good team, man. They're you put them in this scenario. This is anybody's games now. All the regular season's out the window. Now it's a playoff. You got to come to play. Different scenario, different schemes. Everything's different. It's any sport when you're in the playoffs. It's not the same as the regular season.
Nope.
So all the fans out there have to hear me when I say this. The playoffs are the playoffs. Regular season is regular season. Did the Mariners do damn good in the regular season? Yes. And are they playing hot? Yes. But now they have to show that they're a playoff team.
Agreed.
And not just going there thinking, oh, we got the Kyle broke the record and these players are doing this and that. Go in there and show them that this is the year. Show them that we're here not just for the accolades of what's been happening, but we're trying to get this team the first time into the World Series. Show everybody that. And then if they do that, I'll get a temporary tattoo of the Mariners on my chest.
You heard that here first.
I'm not getting a permanent tattoo, but I'll get a temporary on my chest.
If we win the World Series, I might have to get like a little minor little tattoo, something just because, man, just like you said, a team that hasn't even made it to the World Series,
right?
Let alone maybe finally,
right? If they make it to the World Series and I'm still alive, that's a big. For me, as a kid playing baseball, growing up with the Pilots and losing the Pilots and then following the Mariners for all these years, that is huge. Yes, it's just as huge for me when in 1979, when the Sonics won the championship. Because growing up, going to the Coliseum to all those games and growing up with the Sonics since 19 in the 60s, I mean, when they started the team, come on, man, that was huge. When the Seahawks won the Super Bowl, that was huge.
Went crazy.
I was with them out there in the cold, screaming and hollering. So,
and the Seattle Mariners will have that same support.
Exactly.
If they do it. Bill Walker, that's a good point. 1-0 every game.
1-0 every game.
Take it one game at a time.
Yes.
So MLB playoff starts Tuesday, 10 a.m. with the Tigers, Guardians. And it's going to be fun. I actually probably enjoy MLB baseball probably over any other sport playoffs. Because it's just like you said, the schematics that goes into it,
right?
Matchups,
right?
Every pitch matters.
Every pitch, every steal, every error matters. You got to be on your A game. It's just, I mean, and it matters in all sports about turnovers or errors or penalties and this and that. But in baseball, it's really critical.
Yeah, you're right.
It's really critical because. It can turn the tide in a blink of an eye.
Yep. And I know my mom would probably kill me if we didn't talk about this, but we also have the WNBA playoffs going on.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Over these last couple of weeks.
Okay.
And we are almost down to the finals. We already have somebody waiting. And it's not who you think it is. It's not the Liberty.
No.
And it won't be the Lynx.
No.
After the Phoenix Mercury upset both of them. Now, with the last series of them playing the Minnesota Lynx, there was some controversy with that series. We all know that the head coach got suspended one game. And then we also seen Nafisha Collier go down to a nasty play, but I don't think it was purposely. I don't even think it was a foul. It was just unfortunate. And I can't remember
physical playoff basketball.
Yes,
that people are trying to twist into a dirty play, and it wasn't malicious or was it intentional? And I agree with your assessment. It was just a rough play and unfortunate what happened. But hey, playoff balls
And
come to play.
For the play I'm talking about, it was Elisa Thomas guarding Nafisa Collier. Elisa Thomas swiped out the ball. She got a lot of ball and became into a loose ball. And she kind of went through her to get the loose ball and ended up taking her up under her, and she got hurt because of it. And like I said, it was just an unfortunate play. And I know that the head coach for the Lynx was talking about how Nafisa didn't go to the free throw line that game. It's just a lot of physical play on their part. But just like you said, this is playoff basketball. It is going to be a little more physical.
And you know what happens when teams lose is the excuses come out and the reasonings come out. You lost. You just get ready for next year. And everybody was not expecting you to lose.
Nope.
And you lost. So now move on and quit whining and play.
Yep.
And you, like Rhonda says, maybe the Mercury going to the finals gets to stand up. We'll see.
I know. A lot of Suns players was there supporting.
They were.
Yeah, and it's cool because the Mercury has kind of gone under the radar when it's become between the Suns and the Mercury because a lot of it's gone on with the Suns with new ownership, going to get Kevin Durant, making the finals. It's nice to see that these girls are getting their shine, and it's very much deserving. And it's cool to see the Suns out there giving these guys a lot of much support, much needed support.
Just like
the finals run.
Just like the Husky game. If you watch the Husky game, and I'm veering off just a little bit to your point though. Did you see all the Mariners were there?
Yep.
They were there to support their hometown college football team. Even then it didn't go the way it should have or they wanted it to, but that's what cities do, and teams need to do that. So in the WNBA, they have a lot of NBA followers, a lot. I mean, and NFL players that follow. I mean, Halliburton goes to a lot of games. There's a lot of key players that go and support them teams, and I'm glad. I'm good.
Speaking of Halliburton, the Indiana Fever are still fighting to make the finals. They are in Game 5 with the Las Vegas Aces
tomorrow, and
we said this. Whatever. I understand the Storm lost to these guys, but they took a lot out of the Aces. Those were tough 3 games.
It wasn't no rollover.
No.
Took them to the third final game to win it, and that was a close one. They almost lost that one. So that sucked a lot of energy out. And the Fever's like, okay.
They smell blood. They smelled blood.
Yeah, sharks in the water. That's right.
And we're talking about a team who's played without Caitlin Clark for pretty much the second half of the season.
Right.
Going into the playoffs. They are putting on a real run right now behind Kelsey Mitchell.
That's a good point. That they've gone as far as they've gone without
Caitlin Clark.
Thank you. I was going to say Kelsey Plum because I got UW on my head. But do you think the players would have played that if Caitlin would have still been playing? Do you think they would have got the same outcome? Because Caitlin takes away from she cancels out some of the other players. Because she gets most of the action and most of the when she was out. Now the other players that they got their time to shine, they shine.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a domino effect. A lot of players taking their game up to the next level. I do think it shows that when Caitlin Clark does come back next year, these guys are going to be a very formidable team in the WNBA next year. And I do think this does take momentum regardless if they lose or win. But Pep, I think you make a good point. I don't see the Aces losing the Game 5. There's too much veterans, too much NBA or championship DNA.
I'll bet
on this roster.
I'll bet him. How much you want to bet, Pep?
Okay, you heard that, Pep?
I'll bet.
Heard that? Okay.
If the Aces lose, Pep, this is on Rainier Avenue Radio. If the Aces lose, you got to dye your beard and your mustache green.
Let's see if he agrees with that. We're going to go. We got a quick break coming up. We're going to pay some bills real quick, and then we'll be right back here for the second half. We got some college football, and, of course, your Seahawks. Don't go away.
Would you like to see when your favorite Rainier Avenue Radio show comes on? Check out our show schedule, updated weekly at RainierAvenueRadio.world.
Are your kids eligible for or enrolled in Apple Health Medicaid insurance? Bring them to a free dental clinic in Skyway this fall. Public Health Seattle and King County is hosting free dental clinics for kids 12 and under at the Skyway Resource Center, one Saturday per month, now until December. Visit kingcounty.gov/ABCD for more information. Again, that's kingcounty.gov/ABCD for free dental clinics for kids.
Hello, I'm Tony Young, and every week I will be your guide to the music of the Fab Four with my show With the Beatles. John Lennon, Paul McCartney, George Harrison, and Ringo Starr, those four lads from Liverpool. First airings are Tuesday night from 7 to 9 p.m. with repeats on Thursdays and Saturdays from 8 to 10 a.m. right here on Rainier Avenue Radio. Tune in to catch Beatlemania.
Do you want to reach out to the Vietnamese community in Seattle? Just advertise in Người Việt Tây Bắc, that is Northwest Vietnamese News, the longest running Vietnamese language newspaper in our region. Go to nvnorthwest.com.
What's up, everyone? It's your girl, Queen Bree, inviting you to come join me on Clean Greens Living. Broadcasted Tuesdays, 12:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, live right here on Rainier Avenue Radio. On Clean Greens Living, we talk farming, community, and ways to being healthy. So come join me and let's discuss ways to create a healthier you and a healthier community.
If you or a family member are 55 or over and need nursing home level care, but want to keep living where you are, check out Providence Elder Place PACE. This program offers healthcare, housing, transportation, and recreational activities. There are no copays or deductibles, and it's covered through Medicare and Medicaid. Providence Elder Place PACE works to keep healthy and in your home. Call 206-320-5325 or visit providence.org Elder Place. Providence.org Elder Place.
You are listening to Rainier Avenue Radio.world. Don't forget to log on www.rainieravenue radio.world.
Hello, everybody. This is Rainier Avenue Radio. LidLine Sports is on Rainier Avenue Radio today with Otis and MC here. We have some promos that I'm going to announce. Tomorrow, Time in the Politics coverage. Live interview with U.S. House candidate Sawant at 3 on Juan on Radio. And at 5 p.m., a conversation with Seattle Community Police Commission. And don't forget, Friday live football, high school, 7 p.m., Franklin at West Seattle. Okay. Tune in or be square.
You know, I want to talk about something real quick.
Talk about it. That's what we're here to.
And I know we didn't have this conversation at all, but I'm sure you've heard about this. I know you're tapped into the city.
Okay.
So Garfield High School.
Oh, yeah. I'm very tapped into that whole situation. I'll tell you how.
They came out with their new AD, came out with a newsletter last week saying that it was time to start fresh with their basketball program. And it seemed like, I think the better words was relieved head coaches Brandon Roy and Roydale Smiley of duties. And
so from what I've heard, it's really deep. Okay.
I bet it is.
It can go beyond Garfield. So it started at St. Therese when the parents made them remove all their trophies from their previous winnings. Okay. They made them go through the trophy case and remove all their So a lot of those parents have kids that go to St. Therese, and instead of paying for private school in high school, they send them to Garfield. So now they're at Garfield pressuring the AD, and they're talking about going in a new direction. And it's a travesty because the girls coach, how many times in the last 5 years has he taken in the state and they won? There is no other direction but the state championship. For Brandon Roy, He's done nothing but help build that program up and try to do the best. So the AD is using a weak excuse saying we're going in a new direction. No, I think he got pressured from some of the parents.
Oh yeah.
And some of the staff, because I've been hearing that some of the staff, some of the parents were complaining that their kids are getting burned out from practices and they need to focus on their books and stuff and more like that, especially when the team is making a run for the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
It's you coach high school ball, so you know when playoffs come, if you're making the playoffs or close to it, it's tougher. You got tougher practices. So
I'd take it even a step further.
Okay.
I wouldn't be surprised, and this is just my opinion. I wouldn't even be surprised if a lot of local neighborhood parents are complaining that, you know, their kids aren't even getting a fair chance to even ever make this team.
That's another aspect.
Because, you know, Garfield, they are both highly competitive basketball. It's a basketball school. A lot of kids are coming here to play basketball and get a solid education from Garfield High School, which is a really good Seattle public school academic-wise. But yeah, a lot of athletes are coming around the city wanting to play for Brandon Roy and Roy Smiley. And to your point, they're winning at a high level. And on top of that too, which was a confusing part to me, those two look like they do a great job of teaching these young boys to be young men.
Yes.
So that's why, just like you said, the confusion of where the whole going in a new direction, it doesn't make sense to me. And I'm just speaking on the outside looking in because, like I said, you got a program that's winning. You got a program that is graduating good young men that are going out to play college sports.
Brandon Roy's in a good spot right now because my nephew, they're like brothers, A-Dub, and he came over to my house the other day and he had just left with Brandon. And I asked him, I said, how's he doing? He said, no, he's doing good, Unc. He's doing real good. So mentally, he's doing real good. He got a distaste in his mouth from being a Bulldog and a UW Husky and then being treated like that. But all things happen for a reason. And to your point about the parents, that is a big factor but as a coach, let me talk to you coach to coach, mano to mano. Would you rather have all your kids play and you never make the playoffs or go to state, or you play the best kids and you get the other kids in when you can and you keep going to state every year? What that's the alternative.
I mean, I want to win at the highest level.
Come on.
But it's also too, yeah, I want to teach these kids to become young men.
Right. And you got to teach the kids that aren't as good as the kids that are playing to accept the role that they're in. And that's through life. Meaning their kids might not get to play sports, but they might excel in something else. When they go into the job market or the workforce.
And that's something that my brother Fred preaches to his kids all the time. Like, nothing is going to be given to you. Everything you have to work for, especially once you get outside of school. And, you know, I also fear that a lot going on in the WIAA and the Seattle Public School system when it comes to sports and all that, they're trying to take away this whole competing atmosphere in my eyes. I feel like it's starting to go in a direction of this community center, boys and girls club, and that's not fair.
You want to know when
that want to compete at a high level?
You don't want to know when that started? That started a long time ago. When Garfield was because it used to have it separate in 3A teams and 4A teams, and then they combined them to make it. They said, okay, because these teams keep winning, so let's combine them so they have to play each other and cancel each other out. Now they want to make it so that they can't do it to the private institutions, but they could do it to the public. And you're right, WIAA has their hand in that pot too, and they're doing some trickery stuff, and it's sad. And
it's never going to be fair. It's
never
going to have an even playing field.
What do you think is going to happen to Garfield now, though? What do you think the players are going to? I mean, they changed the rules.
They can transfer.
Yeah, so they changed the rules, but I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of them start going to O'Day, Eastside Catholic, and Seattle Prep and Kennedy.
It always works out for them.
Right.
It always does.
Right.
It always does.
Right.
So I'm glad that we were able to touch on this subject because
Yeah, I'm
it's
glad
something
you brought
that's
it up.
fresh.
I'm glad you brought it
I
up.
know high school basketball is around the corner, so it's going to be a topic.
And
It's
I
gonna be
love it.
interesting to see who's going to be the new head coach at Garfield High School as well.
Yeah. Well, we know who's going to dominate, but
we did want to talk about a little bit of college football before we got into the NFL.
yes, sir.
We are now going on into week 6.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, the rankings, Ohio State is cruising along at the number one ranking. Oregon, Miami, Ole Miss, Oklahoma, Texas A&M, Penn State, Indiana, Texas at 9, and Alabama at 10, who just got a good win against Georgia this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I seen somebody this weekend, I forget, I don't know, it might have been Nick Saban, say something, and I agreed with it wholeheartedly. We're in week 6.
Mm-hmm.
There has not been, and you can agree or disagree, there has not been one college football program that has necessarily put themselves above everybody else. I think there is a really good crop of teams that I named, but there is nobody as of week 6, I say, is an overwhelming favorite, even a favorite. I think all these guys that I named, they can all beat up on each other.
Look, in the top 20, just in the top 20, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 undefeated teams in the top 20.
Yep.
So that means there's no, it's the parity is just crazy. There's no really dominance. And when these teams start playing each other, it's going to show who is really ready and who's going to do it.
Who do you like so far
in the top 20
in general?
Oh, in general, I like the Huskies, and I'll tell you why. The Huskies are second year in the Big Ten, right?
They competed on Saturday.
Thank you. That's my point. They played the number 1 team in the nation and took them to the tilt until halftime. And then after that, the number 1 team in the nation said enough is enough. And the Huskies kind of shot themselves a couple times with a couple dumb play calls and this and that. But they competed. They didn't roll over and get blown out. They held the number 1 team to the nation at a halftime. It was a attainable win for them if they came out. But it didn't work out that way. So I say for them, I remember one show Pepe was saying that, I don't know if it was on show or off the air, but Pepe was saying how the Huskies won't compete against Big Ten top teams.
I didn't think they would either.
I do.
You did say it.
I did. I said that I thought they did, and I thought they will because their offense is high powered, but their defense showed me this week. Okay, when you combine those two now, if that defense can keep playing and catapult off of that game, and the offense can fix a few of the things that they can compete with anybody.
And this loss, it doesn't say much. If they keep doing what they're, just like you said, they keep doing what they're supposed to do. If they can win some of these big games, you never know how it's going to look coming close to the Big Ten championship,
right?
And possibly slipping in maybe to the college football playoffs, knowing that you only have a loss to the number 1 team, Ohio State.
Right.
So it's far from over for their season.
You're right. I agree. Who do you like?
I like Miami.
Okay.
I do like Miami this year.
You rolling with Pepe.
Really
you like the Canes.
Yeah, I do like the Canes. I like Florida State as well.
I like Florida State. How about LSU?
I do like LSU. I like Ole Miss a lot too. I think, Ole Miss is always that team that's like riding of potentially being a national championship team, maybe losing in that first round of that of the tournament or the playoffs. I think that they have a real good shot as of week 6 of being a real contender. But I think we all know as of today, it goes through Ohio State. That defense looked like a madman against UW.
I like Iowa State too.
I do like Iowa State as well.
Yes, I like Iowa State. Alabama, I don't really like them, but they are who they are. They always have.
I think it's always a good year when Georgia and Alabama just aren't dominating college football. So I'm okay with. I think they're both solid. I don't think they are both real life contenders.
Right.
Like I said, last Saturday we did see Alabama go on the road into Georgia in Athens with a good win. I think they're playing much better ever since losing to Florida State.
Right.
I don't know what Georgia is.
I like Notre Dame's coach, but I never liked their program.
Mhm.
So I'm
That's
happy.
fair.
I'm happy because they're 2-2, but I love their coach. Just like I like Shaka in
Mhm.
basketball,
Mhm.
but I don't really like Notre Dame as their entity as a I don't like BYU. I like Arizona State over BYU. And I watched Illinois this weekend. I watch a
They
lot of
beat
college.
USC?
Yes,
They beat USC.
and I like USC because they have the first Polynesian quarterback to start for them
Okay.
from Hawaii,
Okay.
and he's good, but they just don't have a lot of the weapons. And Illinois, they play. I like them. They play. How do you say it? Frisky. They got that bite. That dog in them. So it's gonna get interesting though, because like you said in the beginning of our conversation, you can't just pick one good team and say, oh, they're dominant. They're gonna roll.
Nope.
It's gonna be a surprise every weekend. And I'm telling you, by week 7, we're gonna see a few upsets.
Yeah, I think you make a good point because I'm looking at the schedule. So this weekend, not too many star-studded matchups. Oh, Miami and Florida State, I think will be the biggest matchup this Saturday. Other than that, there's no Vanderbilt and Alabama. That's the only other top 25 matchup. And I think because of who they are, Texas and Florida, I think those will be the good matches. But I think week 7, you start to see some much better matchups. So,
but Mississippi State is not going to be a rollover for Texas A&M either.
Oh no! Any SEC matchup, I think those are all going to be good matchups. So I agree with you.
Texas Tech versus Houston. Oh, that's going to be. I'm not saying that it can't, but those are going to be some good games to watch.
I agree.
Just because Virginia's ranked 24th and Louisville's ranked not ranked, Louisville's 4-0. They're coming in there saying, okay, if you sleep on me, you're gonna be knocked out.
No, you're right. You're definitely right. So yeah, we're coming up on week 6. We're definitely gonna tune in a little bit more to college football as the weeks keep going on. But
yes, sir. That's me and your thing.
Yes, it is.
Pepe don't like it as much, but me, I love college football, college basketball as a whole.
Yes,
I even watch college baseball, man.
Do you?
Yes.
That's something I gotta start getting into. That's why we pay you the big bucks. So
no, don't pay me. Don't. My wife watches the show, man. I'm gonna be broke by the end of the week.
But you do know we do definitely. It's NFL season. We are on week 5 now. About to go on to week 5. And it was another great Sunday, but of course it started.
No, we're week 4.
Week 4? Yes, you are right. And that started off Thursday with the Seahawks going down to Phoenix and beating the Cardinals. What did you think of the Seahawks?
I go 50-50. I like what I saw, but then they had me worried at the end. And to have to win it by a field goal, the way they controlled Kyler Murray in the group, but they were just doing some dumb stuff. And I'm like, no, not because I thought it was going to be a blowout. The way they came out. And then because Pepe was at the game.
That's why I said we needed him.
And I was like, oh my God, what is happening? I said, they might lose this game. And me and him was going back and forth. I wasn't trying to bother him too much to let him enjoy the game and being there. But I was still saying, the momentum swinging. But it was funny because he posted a video, right? And it was awesome because Chardonnay was running in to score a touchdown. And you could see it looked like they were stopping him at the 1-yard line, and all the Arizona fans were yeah. And then he broke through and scored, and they were like, and I was like, I had me rolling. I was like, and Pepe was right there in that mix. So,
well, I do want to say that they clearly was listening to you when you talked about for this last week about how the running game was concerning you.
Right.
155 on the ground.
Bam.
This Sunday, and I thought that was the controller.
Huge. It was
for the first half. Like you just said, they held down the run game. I thought the defense was doing their job. Kyler Murray was running all over the field. I thought that this game was in a chokehold throughout the first half.
And you know what else? I think you're right by them listening to me, because what else did I say? I said Darnold has to show me that he can throw to more than JSN. And what did he do in this game? He was lighting it up with all the receivers. He was hitting because he was saying, okay, you guys want to key on JSN? I'll hit my other guys.
8 different people caught
Bam.
Caught a pass.
Bam. That's my point.
Yeah.
He's got to do that every game, so you can't be one-dimensional. If you're not one, and he ran on some plays, which was crucial.
Yep.
Which we see now, like I said, when Geno played. Geno was too scary to run, and when he ran, it was dumb. But now he's got 7 interceptions already in the season. It's like, okay, that's why the Seahawks didn't pay you, you big dummy. But anyway, keep going, man. Get me going on Geno. I'm getting mad. My drawers is on fire, man. Jeez.
No, there was some games that were a lot of eye openers on Sunday.
Okay, let's talk about it.
And I think it starts right there. The Ravens and the Chiefs.
The Ravens are done, and I hated to see how Lamar Jackson gave up on his team. They're trying to cover it up and say, "Oh, he has this injury." No, you could see it in his eyes that he could tell that he was getting defeated, and he took the cop-out role, talking about, "Take me out, I'm injured." But the Kansas City Chiefs just showed them, you guys ain't ready.
1-3 going into week 4. The possibility of Lamar Jackson not playing next Sunday, and that's against who do they play next Sunday?
Who the Ravens? They play the Texans.
That could be a tough game.
It is not
Lamar,
could be. It's going to be tough because they're both 1-3.
Exactly. So desperation starts to come into play. I know we talked about, we're gonna say we're gonna start a fraud list. Who's some teams that is looking like frauds going into week 4?
Okay, I think
week 5.
I think I said 2 things. Let me look it up. I remember I said something to you. I said when we were texting, me and you, you and Pepe, we chat during the games, and I was like, what did I say? Dang, can I remember? You remember? Yeah, I texted it to you guys. I can't remember. I know I said the Colts and the Chargers. That's my main one right now. The Chargers. Come on, man. Come on.
The Chargers are definitely on my fraud list.
Come on, man. How the Chargers? They played the Giants, who hadn't won a game, right? And the Giants single-handedly kind of shut the Chargers pretty much down.
Yep.
Okay.
Without MC going up
without Russell Wilson, to put the rookie in, and then I say why I say the Colts might be on the fraud list because they played the Rams, and the way the Colts were playing, they looked like they were ready to steamroll everybody. They look like their quarterback. Oh my God. They had him looking like MVP, like he was Eli Manning or Peyton Manning, whatever, the second coming of it. And what happened to him when the heat was put on him? He shut down.
Yeah, you're right.
It's like,
and I'm sure we'll hear from next Monday to add to this fall list, but he's already saying that Pep got the Ravens on there, and I think that's pretty much what that defense is atrocious. I don't care what Lamar and who's the running back?
Henry.
Derrick Henry, and how many points they can put up. They could not stop me, you, and Pepe if we was on the field.
They couldn't stop me, and I got 2 fake hips. And I've had 2 knee surgeries, 2 fake hips, my left elbow, my right shoulder. They couldn't stop me. I'm like, get out of here. For being every year being that team, oh, they're going to be there. They're the top. No, Harbaugh. I think Harbaugh might be on the hot seat.
And it may very well so. And like I said, it's Lamar Jackson's also for his career. It's great to see what he does week in and week out. But we've seen time after time when it matters the most, big games. What do we see?
No show. And you know what? Who said this? They are who we think they are. And that's
Bears are who we thought they were.
Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Daniel.
Yeah,
right on time.
It just gets to a point where you start to see the same antics over and over.
Same old thing, same song, different musician. It's like they're covering the same song every year, and it's like it gets old. And I would never put no money on the Ravens from this point forward, man.
You know who's on my suspect list?
Who's that?
And that's why I'm not putting them on the fraud list. But I was really disappointed defensively how they looked on Sunday. turned out to be a push. Nobody won in overtime. But then they lost to the Browns last week as well, and that's the Green Bay Packers. Yeah. All this momentum coming in to the regular season. They made the Lions look pedestrian week 1. They handled the Commanders week 2. We're talking about a team that, after 2 weeks, had barely gave up any touchdowns.
So they are suspect, but I can't put them on the fraud list because the Cowboys are a formidable team. They're not a team that's fair. That they're good enough to say if you don't come to play, they're going to beat you. And they played with serious desperation. The Cowboys did. The Packers didn't play with serious motivation. It looked like they were just playing along with the Cowboys, going, going toe to toe instead of saying, no, we're going to take over this game. And I don't even think CeeDee Lamb did he play or.
I don't think he did play.
I don't think he. So without him, it's like, come on, man, how are you gonna let the boys stay with you and take you? They just lost it from the beginning. Let me see, did he play? No, he didn't.
I think it's fair to consider, and I know it has a lot to do with injury, but this is once again a year in and year out thing with the Cincinnati Bengals. They lose their quarterback. They come back. They try to make a run. I don't know what needs to go out there, but I'm watching
Cincinnati.
Yes, I'm watching the Bengals play earlier, and I just feel bad for Jamar Chase.
Right.
Can't get no throws his way. He's playing with Jake Browning, and no disrespect to him coming from out of UW. It's hard to call them frauds. Like I said, going with a hurt quarterback.
Right.
But I just think that there's teams that it's still too early to say if they're technically frauds. I feel like every team outside of the Ravens who were considered to be formidable teams has shown some type of life. The Chiefs, I thought, played really well, and I know that Pep was going to put them on their fraud list if they would have lost.
They would have deserved it.
Yeah, for sure. But I think there's still a lot of books to be open left on the Bears, possibly.
I'll tell you who else is another team. I don't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
I'll tell you another team who's wavering on the fraud list. The Vikings.
Yeah.
Steelers played very good ball. They won it early, but the Vikings look like they're teetering to the fraud list too, because every year we hear this, the Vikings are going to do this, and what happens every season. So
I think we both can agree who the fraud MVP is as of right now, and you've said his name a lot, and that's Geno Smith.
He come on, man. He is. He does the same stuff he did in Seattle. He throws the interception. He gets mad at himself. He sits on the sideline on the bench, pouts, and then he starts to look at the iPad like that's going to help. Then he goes back in and throws another interception. It's like, what are you reading on the iPad? Does it say throw an interception?
And it's funny seeing the Raiders fans catch on to his playbook. So he did it also in the post-game conference. I'll look at it. I'm going to be better. I got all the confidence in the world that I'm going to go out and be better.
Right.
And, the Raiders fans like, oh, well, you said this last week.
Yeah.
And then you come in here and you do it again. So I'm sorry, Geno. And for me, it's a little personal with Geno because you came here asking for all this money for your extension.
Right.
What have you done with us at the Seahawks?
Nothing.
We ain't won a playoff game with you.
No. You were breaking records throwing interception with the Seahawks.
Exactly.
Now you're doing the same thing with the Raiders. And folks, next week, Pepe will be back, and he will have the original, official real fraud list that will have everybody laughing and loving. And he is right. He did also state that Pickens tore. He tore the Packers up without the cheese. He was like gobbled like he was the cheese meister and just chewing them up, finding all the holes in the cheese. And it was like Pickens showed them, oh yeah, you guys are second. So it gives something for the Packers to work on, and we'll see. Either that game could have been a breaking point, or it could be a motivator to say, okay, look, we got to work on these things. So we'll see. We'll see.
Pep will be back next Monday.
Yes, sir.
Man, it's going to be a great show. Everybody tuning in, please tune in Saturday.
Be ready
the
for us.
Mariners game.
Oh,
one,
please support the
ALCS.
Mariners.
That's going to be amazing, and I can't wait. Once again, shout out to our producer, Daniel. I know he does not get a lot of credit.
Oh,
but
he
man,
gets
he's
all
amazing.
credit. It wouldn't be a show without Daniel.
Definitely. But for me, of course, my guy MC and Pep being back next week, we will see y'all right here on LidLine Sports next Monday.
Peace out. Thank you, Daniel. You need to move the table back.